Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to the Vintage Sewing Machine Garage YouTube channel. And you are staring at a Singer 66 sewing machine that has been semi-submerged in kerosene, in a kerosene bath. And I think I've had it here for 1 or 2 weeks now. I'll have to go back and check. But it is time to remember, this is the machine, for those of you who haven't seen the other videos, that was frozen. It was actually rusted. And so I decided to try the kerosene because we're in summer. We're at the very end of summer. The grass is green, but the trees are yellow, as an old song says. And so it's going to be winter soon. So anyway, I had this machine to try to unlock. And today I'm going to I'm going to take it out of its bath. And I have a tarp. I don't want any of this kerosene getting into the soil at all or running off anywhere. And then I have an old quilted shirt here that's going to soak up any drips, hopefully. And then, for the event that maybe some of you were waiting for, we'll see, I will continue in my next video with my next kerosene bath candidate, which of course is that Kenmore. That Kenmore that's been a thorn in my side since I took it for it free. So anyway, let's take a look at the Singer 66. Get my gloves on here. And we're going to see what's going on with it. Now remember that the Singer 66, just like the Singer 99 and the Singer 185, that whole generation of, that whole design of machine, you cannot turn your hand wheel, you cannot sew with the machine when it's sitting flat. It has to be elevated in a table or also potentially in a sewing machine case. Now, when I do this, I'm seeing that the hand wheel is moving, and it was frozen solid when I first tried this. Now, the reason it doesn't move smoothly, again, is the mechanism below is pushing against the bottom of this old toolbox that I'm using as a kerosene bathtub. And so you can't determine if you've gotten totally free movement just based on this. So let's take it out. Oh, big heavy beast. Don't want to waste any of my kerosene here. And again, I'm hoping that most of my issues, if not all, are below on this particular machine design. I can move my needle bar, my presser bar, I should take that back, and it does not ever seem to have had an issue. Now, again, I'm going to hold this up and try to turn. And don't you know, I'm getting movement. But what does that mean exactly? Let's take a look here. Whoops. Got my machine hung up on my box. Let's get my kerosene bath out of the way here before we create a comic moment that will not be funny for me. Okay, let's turn the machine on its back, sort of. Now, what are we looking for? Notice all of this running gear was frozen. Now, what am I noticing? What I'm noticing is that if I keep the clutch knob tight, I'm still, that knob, the hand wheel was moving, but I wasn't really getting any movement down below here. What does that mean? Well, the needle bar wants to turn, but the mechanism is not. Now, does that mean that this machine is a goner? I don't know. I think what has happened is the kerosene has certainly soaked into any of the rust, and some of the rust is actually, I don't know that I could say kerosene just removes rust, because it doesn't, right? But it has certainly gotten this mechanism. What I'd like to do is be able to say that I can turn this. But my hand wheel turns, it didn't before, but my needle bar, I'm getting a little movement here with the needle bar, but not much, because I've still got a frozen mechanism below, down below here. So Well, we'll have to find out and see what happens with this. I'm not entirely clear what my next move is, but I am going to have to wipe this machine down, get as much of the kerosene off as possible, and we will see what happens. But I might even try a little bit of heat to see if I can get anything to move down below here. This is where all the mechanicals happen. I will not be taking it indoors until I can do that, because again, as I've said many times, kerosene is not your, kerosene does not evaporate easily. It is not your friend and can really stink up your house. One thing to note, I had heard that Singer in the past would recommend people cleaning their sewing machines with kerosene. No damage in any that I can tell has happened to the finish or the decals, that I can tell. Right? The machine looked like this when I got it. So, well, I cannot claim success, but the needle bar wants to move. It really does, but it's not going to be able to go into its full rotation without the bottom of the machine functioning. So, gonna have to investigate further. I do have some rust removing products I can try, but I thought I'd try the kerosene bath first. Well, there it is. So let me know what you all think. I have a strong aversion to doing anything with this indoors, and I don't know, maybe a light hammering might help to break some of the rust free, but I'm going to ponder that. But I appreciate you all watching. Please stay tuned, because in the next video you are going to see, finally, after all the talk, I'm finally going to make a last ditch effort. This was my first effort with this 66, by the way, but I'm going to make a last ditch effort with that Kenmore that someone really caused problems with by putting axle grease into a sewing machine, which you should never ever do. But I have it, and I'm going to give it the one last college try before I part the machine out. So here goes nothing. Stay tuned. In the next video you will see the Kenmore being submerged in kerosene. Some of you in the past, if you even remember this machine, had recommended that I use kerosene, but spraying it or trying to have it dribble down, I wanted the machine to soak in it and see if that would help. So we're going to find out. So watch for the next video, and we will see what happens with that forlorn Kenmore machine. Thanks for watching, everyone.